There are so many sports nutrition products on the market. How do you choose the best option for training and racing? I'm at myRaceKit store in Sheffield with Steve Franklin, who's going to give us all the advice we need to choose the sports nutrition that's right for you. So should we start with the bars and the gels and the kind of snack type things? What kind of runs would these be useful for?
Most people can probably go 90 minutes of not trying super hard without really needing to take on anything but maybe some water. If you're going slightly longer, then it's always good to preempt when you might have a slight low. You don't want dips and then energy spikes and then dips. Gels tend to be slightly gloopy, like a syrup almost. Bars will be like any kind of bar that you get. Some are a little chewier, a bit more moist, some are slightly drier. Some are kind of, they're called nude or natural, so they don't really have any sort of major additives to them to make them taste of specific things, and others are designed to taste like things you like, whether it's marshmallow or banana or strawberries or beer maybe as well. They do beer gels. Really important thing with anything nutrition is choosing something that is palatable to you. So finding something that tastes good and agrees with your stomach is also really important.
And then some of the athletes going a little bit further into the ultra distances.
Sometimes if you're doing long events, taking normal food it is good too. I love cold pizza. It's something I can always get down me. If I need food quick or energy quick, I probably wouldn't go to pizza. But just remember that you can take potatoes or a tin of beans. There are other things available than the specific nutrition here, and especially if you're doing longer events, those things are things you can normally always get down you. I mean, my tuppence worth of advice on that kind of thing is, if you find something you like, then try not to go overkill on it, because if you have something too much, it can then make you start to dislike it quite strongly.
And then there are the electrolytes to replace the body's salts lost through sweat.
Yeah, so obviously if you're sweating a lot, there's evidence to say that it's good to replace what you're sweating out. These basically dilute in water. They give you a recommended amount of water to dilute them in, but you might find that it's too strong still, so you can dilute them down again. Some people might say that if you don't do it to the exact ratios, they won't work very well. Again, this is a personal opinion. I don't agree with that. I'd rather have something that I could get in me that's got what I need to get in me than something that I find too strong or too sweet. Some of the shakes you get as well, or the powders that are dilutable in water, will also have electrolytes in, as well as carbohydrates. So this is, again, a naked flavour, but you can get flavoured versions of Tailwind as well. And
some of those electrolytes and some of the other products here have caffeine in. How is that useful?
So, I mean, caffeine's great, isn't it? Everyone loves caffeine. There's a load of evidence out there to basically the performance enhancing effects of caffeine. There are also negative effects of caffeine on performance. So caffeine is a diuretic, so it'll make you go to the toilet more, normally for a number one. Some people, it also has a secondary influence on your bowel and can make you go to the toilet that way as well. So it's always worth, like I said before at the start of this, testing gels to find out what agrees with you and what doesn't. Normally on gel packaging, they will tell you how much caffeine is in it. It's worth just kind of checking how much caffeine's in things. So yeah, caffeine in moderation has a performance enhancing effect. Just make sure it agrees with your system.
And then for recovery after those runs and races, what would you recommend?
Obviously rehydrating is important, but not too quickly. Gradually is probably better than getting several litres of water down you in one foul swoop. But basically just having a well-balanced meal and being aware that if you are doing very long events, that there's a need to potentially eat well for several days afterwards to make sure you heal and recover properly. If you do have specific dietary requirements, you probably already know the things that you maybe are slightly deficient in, and to be more careful about getting those into your system.
And then there are the various freeze-dried foods as well for those multi-day races like the Marathon des Sables, where you have to carry 6 or 7 days worth of food on your back.
So yeah, the Southern store has a really good range of freeze-dried meals. It's breakfast, lunch, dinner for events like MDS and your other multi-day events. They come in all different flavours, different dietary requirements. So if you're gluten intolerant or you're a vegetarian, they're also great because they are designed to give you the nutrition and the calories that you need when you're on these multi-day events. So it's an easy way to count your calories to make sure you're replenishing what you've lost during the day. To make them, in the most part, is just hot water into the bag. Sometimes you need to leave them for a little while to cook through, to warm through, but it is super simple.
Great, that's brilliant, Steve. I hope that's given you a good idea of what sports nutrition you need for your training and racing. So head to your nearest myRaceKit store in Sheffield or Essex, and their fully trained staff will help you find your perfect sports nutrition. Or use the information in this film to make your choice from their exclusive selection online at myRaceKit.com.
Doesn't tell me. Terrible. Oh no, it does tell me. So we don't actually do anything like that here, Claire.
Oh.
Skip nutrition. You eat it really messily.
And then lick it all up.
Where are all our tabs gone? We've run out of tabs because we've sold them all because it's warm. Oh, they're behind me. They're behind me here. Have you ever done one of these, Claire, and you're really not like the person you're doing it with?
Why are you trying to tell me something?
I'm just curious.